रजाई कंबल हम इंडिया से लेके आते हैं। इंडिया में बीटेक में क्या लेक्चर में चुपचाप बैठे रहते थे, 1 घंटा हो जाता था, चले जाते थे, ऐसा होता था। यहाँ पे
What was the GRE score?
it's 321. I was confused where to apply, and each university more than $100 fee. If you plan to come to the US, there is no airport, so it's a long journey to come from India to Virginia Tech, though. But once you reach here, it's really homely. There's an Indian society here. They're really helpful. Apartment is $400 to $500. Food $200. Shopping $700-800.
Hello everyone, welcome to College Dunia Study Abroad channel. We are India's largest college search and admission help platform. Get in touch for any study abroad query. Our counselors will help you, definitely. So we have Anshika Tyagi here. She is pursuing M.Eng Engineering from Virginia Tech. She has got throughout distinction in her academic career. I would mention that she is first division with distinction from GBPU. She has done BTech in Electrical and Communication Engineering. She has also got above 90% in both 10th and 12th. So yes, Anshika, welcome to College Dunia.
Hi, for the introduction.
Please share your journey please go ahead.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hi, so I am from a small town called Dehradun, back in Uttarakhand, and I did my 10th and 12th. My schooling is from St. Joseph's Academy, Dehradun itself. And then I did my BTech from GB Pant University, which is like a college, a government college, state-funded college.
Yes.
And I did my undergrad in Electronics and Communication Engineering. 4 years were fun. I learned a lot of things. Also explored, like that is the time where I made my mind to pursue a master's. And after that, it was COVID, and we were locked down in 2019 and 20. So I graduated in 2019. I took a job in TCS Gurgaon.
Yes.
Not a great company, but yeah, if you want to come abroad, it doesn't really matter where you work. So I took that time to simply prepare for my GRE, my TOEFL. I just used those lockdown period to stay at home and do my work as well, learn and grow with GRE and TOEFL. So I started exploring options. I applied for GRE, and then you start the applications pretty soon. I came here in fall 21, but then I started my application process in October 2020 because most of the colleges had their deadline in December for the next August 2021, you have to apply previous year.
From the fall, yes.
Yeah. So to increase your chances to get any admit, you have to start. You have to be the first one to apply.
So
yes.
I had one question here. So you said you were preparing for GRE along with your job, right?
Yes.
So I had one question, like how many hours you were spending for the GRE preparation every day?
Sure. So this is a great question. There is one thing that is called consistency, and that is what is required to crack like a good score in a GRE. That there's not a lot. We have been doing maths all our life. The GRE math that comes is typically class 10th, 11th math. Nothing more than that. They have some basic probability and stuff like that. Everybody knows the content of it. English is a pretty hard, like we are not used to using those words in our normal life. Those jargons are not probably used in India. Not even in US they're used, but they test you on those bases. So I used to prepare, like when I used to get ready or wait for like 1 hour in the morning, and after coming back from office when we used to travel, I had an application. There are many applications that you can find just have words, right, where you can learn
for the vocab and everything.
Yes, for the vocab. So I usually used to do a list of vocabs. There's this Magoosh application which yeah. So I just used to do 100 list while traveling. I used to learn 100 words.
You were preparing on your own, so am I right?
Yeah. Yes, I prepared on my own.
All on your own. Very good.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So I just took the Magoosh subscription. It's like for 1 month just to keep me consistent, right? And like in the words I used to do while traveling, or just while we are in the office, if you have some break, I just used to read those words. And after that, every day I took 1 hour out of my schedule for sure, like without breaking this pattern. And I used to do those fill the words and comprehensions in Magusha application. I used to time myself. What is more important in GRE is you time. The comprehension is really extensive and it has a lot of words that are difficult. You don't need to understand the whole of it, but you just need to understand the gist of it to answer the questions. Yeah. So I used to time myself just so that I read quickly. We are used to reading each word and understanding each word line by line. That's what we've taught from the beginning. But here you have to be really quick just to answer the questions. And math was usually when I was tired and I didn't want to do the English part, I used to do the math because that was pretty easy. There was just one or two concepts that we never that I was wrong in, but other than that, it was pretty easy.
So how much I can put in, like 2 hours a day?
Yeah, it could be 1 hour a day, but if you just keep the consistency, and 2 or 3 hours on weekends would be good.
So for how many months? Like 3 months, 4 months? Like what was the?
No, you could do this for just 3 months, and if you are if you don't have the background, some students are from Hindi medium schools in India. From them, it is difficult to grasp those words at first. So, un logo ke liye I'd say 4 months would be good for vocabulary. Math would be just a 1 month thing. If you consistently do math, 1 month mein math ho jayega, but vocabulary ke liye you definitely need 2 or 3 months.
Okay, so follow your tips. 4 months is enough for like 320 GRE score, right? What was the GRE score?
It's 321. I got 165 in quant and 156 in verbal.
Cool. So yes, so coming back to my original question, why Virginia Tech? So how was your application process?
Yeah, so talking about the application process, it was pretty dense. I was confused where to apply, what to do. I got reviews from a lot of people around me, my friends, family, internet. There's a lot of sources that you can search for. And it was like a pool of universities that I wanted to apply to, but I couldn't shortlist. And each university had more than $100 fee. So you cannot just simply apply to all the universities. Also, sending the GRE and TOEFL score also costs you something. So that also was one of the biggest constraints that stopped me from applying to a lot of universities. So I shortlisted around 10 universities. So you start with a pool of universities and then you divide your universities.
So what was the criteria you chose to actually select all those universities?
So for this, I had my GRE score, I had my TOEFL score. TOEFL score doesn't really matter though. It's just
what was your score? What was the TOEFL score?
My TOEFL score is 110 on 120. And you can give IELTS or TOEFL depending on which country you want and what. Most universities here accept both the scores. So it's just you have to reach a minimum criteria and then it's okay. That score doesn't really count. Then how I calculated the universities based on moderate, divided the pool, was based on my GRE score. I searched the internet, what people usually on this university have. There's this US news where you can shortlist, have the top universities in computer science. First, I took the top 40 universities. And then I see what is reachable for me. Definitely, I cannot go to Stanford or Oxford. But then the thing is, you need to shortlist according to what score you have and what you want to pursue actually.
I have a product question over here. Do you feel there is a need of college predictor for study abroad? Something based on AI or the previous application?
Yeah, definitely. I think that would be a really great help. But, it's not just the score that matters, because some of the universities where I never thought
profile. It's complete profile.
Where I didn't even think that I'd get an admit. Say UMass Amherst. I got an admit from UMass Amherst. I never thought I would get an admit there. From Virginia Tech also, it was in my ambitious universities actually. Okay. So it's the overall profile that matters. But if you want to it's the simple match. You can't just say that this prediction is 100% correct based on just the score, right? They see on your overall profile, how have you been, what strengths you have, what you can bring to the university. So those are the things. And there's a lot of pressure here. So if you can handle that pressure too, they don't want students to drop out of college, right? So because they get their major fee from international students. So they see if you have that kind of thing, that you have consistently taken pressure and you can handle that, right? So that is one of the things that happens here. So I shortlisted a pool of universities and then I divided them safe, reach and dream. These are the 3 categories that you start, right? You have a lot of take 3 or 4 safe universities that are below your GRE score, and you will definitely get an admit there. If you plan to come to the US, you have to have some safe universities, because you cannot like wait for one more year and say I'll apply next year. I mean, if you have the bandwidth, you can, but if you don't have the bandwidth, then you definitely need to keep that safe pool in your list, right? And then there is the reach or moderate universities where you think that you can get in, but you're not sure. So my safe universities were Arizona University, Northeastern, and then Indiana was one of my safe universities. Then I had this moderate pool where I was not very sure if I'll get in. So it's University of Colorado, University of California, Irvine, UCSD, although I didn't get any of those moderate universities. And then super dream or ambitious would be Yale, Brown University, Rutgers. So for my score, that would be the thing. And then based on this, start with applying to just the safe pool, right? See, if you have one admit, like the application starts back in October and November. Get your LORs ready as soon as possible from your professors. One from your manager. I took 3. 2 were from my professors and one was from my manager at work. So if you have that doubt,
I want to ask, what was the profile of the professor from which you got the LOR? So because is he having some research publications and all, something like that?
Yes. So one was pursuing a PhD. And so her profile wasn't too great. She was just like pursuing a PhD.
Something
she
above
had
average.
Some yeah. But what matters is what they write about you. They won't. The college won't check their publications. They won't go ahead and check their publications. But
they
what matters?
So this is something quite a finding, because we were hoping. The profile of the person who is giving the LOR also matters. Like, let's say
it doesn't matter much. It matters. You can't just simply take it from some random person, right?
Obviously, they can. They need to
not
get
your team lead. Not your team lead. Take it. Try to take it. If you're working, try to take it from your manager at least, so that like you have your reach till the manager, right?
Yes.
And from professors, I think all the professors, your college is getting, like, they put professors on duty just because they have that qualification, right?
Yes.
And then one professor was really experienced. He was in his like 35th year of teaching, so he had really good publications. But yeah, talking on publications, even I had 2 publications. So I did. In my BTech, I understood that I wanna pursue masters because I had my cousins, I had my family. I didn't see my future in India back then, because there was a limitation in job opportunities you have, and what you can reach is like, there are still possibilities growing. Yes. I'm not saying that India is not a good place to work. It's definitely
completely fine with your
But then the thing is that you need to be in the top, like pretty good to crack an IIT, right? The competition is very much. In US, I think the competition pool would be reduced for the master's students, right?
You can tell our users like what was the title of the publication, so they can just relate to that.
Yeah, so it is a Bluetooth controlled surveillance robot that I published a paper on, and the other was based on neural networks. So it was more like geocoding and having the attendance system for a particular area.
Did it add value in the application, your publication?
Yeah, I think that those journals I had a publication, IRJET. Those are not 2 great journals, but I'd say if you want to come to and you want to make your application stand out a bit, just have some publication. It doesn't matter. It doesn't always need to be Sprinter or IEEE, but it needs to show that
it can be into a like tier 2.2 type of journal.
Yeah. It doesn't matter what journal you're trying, but at least try to have a publication.
Having a publication is a good thing to have.
Yes, because that shows that you did some research. Because masters is mostly trending towards like you have to research. If you're going for a thesis masters, that most students pursue, because it is research based and people don't want to pay the fee. If you are a research student, the college pays for you, to be precise.
Okay, so how was like after landing in Virginia Tech University, how was the atmosphere? How was like your first experience? You can also share some of your best experience once you landed over there, please.
So there is no airport close to our place. It's if we
Great.
travel like for an hour, there's a small regional airport called Roanoke. So the closest airport we have is Washington DC, which is also like I'd say 6 hours drive from here. So yeah, so it's a long journey to come from India to Virginia Tech though. But once you reach here, it's really homely. I landed here. I had my cousin, so I landed in California, and then later on I came here to Roanoke. When I reached here, I didn't really have any friends. Although we had some groups beforehand, when we got the admits, there's an Indian society here, which like tells you when you land. They're really helpful. I mean, when we had an admit, we were definitely.
Can you name the society for our users?
It's ISA. It's Indian Students Association.
All right.
Yeah. So this society really helps you. They make a WhatsApp group of all the students. They have divisions like fall 2022, then spring 2022. So people generally help. If I have any questions, I just post on that group, and the students who are studying there used to just answer my questions. And that is what we are doing now also. If somebody has an admit and comes to that group, he or she has some questions, we definitely answer. And if that person wants to meet in person or do a video call, we are also in for that. So that's a really special thing, I think, over here, because that makes you feel that you belong to the community, right? And it makes you feel at home. So this association used to organize some events, like some webinars where we used to ask questions, and they had like 3 or 4 students who are currently students, so we used to answer your questions. We had ideas about the weather here, what you need to bring, what we cannot buy here, and things like that. Your journey from India to US is very typical, and you cannot always guess what you need to have, what kind of clothes you want to carry.
इसके लिए बहुत सारी stories भी हैं, यहाँ पे बहुत सारे movies में दिखाते हैं कि you can't take a chart and all. So yes.
Yes, बैग में क्या क्या पैक करना है, क्या यहाँ नहीं मिलेगा, क्या तुम्हें सबसे ज्यादा याद आएगा इंडिया का. So those are the things that they used to tell us, and I had an idea what kind of clothes I need to carry, क्या क्या सस्ते में मिल जाएगा. There are a lot of questions क्योंकि US dollars कितना महंगा हो गया, it's like 82 now. And छोटी छोटी चीजें, रजाई कंबल हम इंडिया से लेके आते हैं just because हमें लगता है कि यहाँ पे महंगा मिलता होगा. So that is the thing that they helped कि ये सब चीजें नहीं लेके कैरी करने
That needs to be quoted. Rajai and Kambal, we can take it from India. Yes.
Yes. So the thing is that you need to understand क्या क्या तुम्हें यहाँ पे सस्ते में मिल जाएगा. इंडिया से सस्ता बहुत सारी चीजें मिलती हैं यहाँ पे. एंड एज अ स्टूडेंट देयर आर लॉट ऑफ कंस्ट्रेंट्स ऑन द मनी यू हैव. और पेरेंट्स से लेना उस टाइम पे अच्छा नहीं लगता, बिकॉज बहुत ज़्यादा डिफरेंस होता है इंडिया और US डॉलर्स में. सो दैट इज़ वन थिंग. और बाकी जब हम यहाँ पे आए, इट वॉज मोर लाइक वी वर ऑलरेडी इन अ ग्रुप, पीपल यूज टू मीट. यहाँ का जो इंटरनेशनल क्रैनवेल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है, इट्स Cranwell International Center. So those people organize a lot of events जो सिर्फ international students के लिए होते हैं. तो उसमें majorly Indian students हैं, but बाकी streams के बाकी countries के भी लोग हैं. So I met people from Egypt, I have friends from Iran, I have friends from Korea. So वो events organize करते थे ताकि बाकी countries के लोग could get together and meet. So अभी तक like I am in my second year, and अभी तक they organize events and we go. And we have a lot of fun because बाकी students से मिलने का मौका मिलता है, and you get to learn about the culture of different countries.
How frequent these get-togethers happen? So
these get-togethers are, if I say ये हमारा college town है, every week you will have some event for sure.
All right.
Yeah.
So this is a party time, I think. Like you.
It's more like to relieve yourself from the work, from the studies. So जैसे Thursdays को there's a coffee hour. शाम को 1 घंटे का कॉफी आवर होता है. दे हैव कॉफी, कुकीज, एंड पीपल कैन कम टॉक, दे कैन प्ले सम बोर्ड गेम्स, दे कैन रीड सम बुक्स. तो ये ग्रेजुएट स्कूल ऑर्गेनाइज करता है. सो देयर आर लॉट ऑफ ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस हियर बिकॉज ये कॉलेज टाउन है, एज आई टोल्ड बिफोर इन द प्रीवियस वीडियो एज वेल, कि यहाँ पे ज्यादा पार्टी प्लेसेस नहीं है. There's not a lot to go around. I said पास वाला एयरपोर्ट भी 1 घंटा दूर है. तो कॉलेज does its best to do things like that. और हमारा कॉलेज is very nature, like it's full of nature. And fall colors बहुत सुंदर है. So they take us for a walk and probably just to talk and share your things. और फिर meditation type events होते हैं यहाँ पे.
Okay, great.
Yeah, just to get your relief from the tension. Also, there are a lot of great events. जैसे आज यहाँ पे there's this homecoming thing. यूएस में इट्स अ बिग थिंग, क्रिकेट फुटबॉल मैचेस आर अ बिग थिंग, यहाँ पे सॉकर बोलते हैं, ठीक है, एंड देन दे हैव दिस होम कमिंग
So
इवेंट वेयर
I have one small question over here.
Yeah.
So were you watching soccer or football before going to the US?
नो नेवर
No.
No.
Great.
बट यहाँ पे इतना ज्यादा हाइप्ड अप है, इफ यू गो टू दैट स्टेडियम आई थिंक एवरी मंथ 1-2 मैचेस होते हैं एंड इट्स अ बिग थिंग हियर। और जो एनर्जी होती है उस स्टेडियम में, आई डोंट वॉच, मेरे को यहाँ का रूल्स भी समझ में नहीं आता है कैसे खेलते हैं वो सॉकर, बट द एनर्जी इन दैट स्टेडियम कैरीज एंड द फील ऑफ इट
You just go for that.
डेफिनेटली। सो उसके ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के लिए देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स। अभी होम कमिंग इवेंट है, सो दे हैव अ परेड इन डाउनटाउन। हर कॉलेज का एक छोटा डाउनटाउन होता है हर प्लेस का, सो दैट डाउनटाउन हैज दिस परेड गोइंग ऑन। शाम को देयर इज दिस डीजे एंड food, a little bit food from each organization, and then you can just have fun and be around. Or Saturdays are usually matches, so even that's great. So community se touch mein it was always good. I never felt ki we are out of I'm out of India or I don't have friends or something like that.
I will ask about your toughest experiences in last of the interview. So
Sure.
right now I want to know about how did you find your accommodation?
Yeah, so I was in contact with previous students. I asked them कि वो कहाँ रहते हैं। पहले तो एवरेज कॉस्ट एक इम्पॉर्टेंट फैक्टर है कि कितना मैं देना चाहूँगी एक अपार्टमेंट के लिए, या वहाँ पे एवरेज कॉस्ट कितना है। तो यहाँ का एवरेज कॉस्ट वर्जीनिया टेक का I'd say $400 to $500 है, तो इसमें you can get a good accommodation. I got a 2-bed apartment.
It is like per month or per week? So
per month.
Per month, okay. So
$400 per month.
Per month, yes.
Yeah. Or 2-bedroom apartment, 3-bedroom apartment, you get the whole room.
So I'm asking this because lots of students have actually told us the rent in the US is per week. So which is like not as per like in India when we pay monthly rents and all.
Yeah. यहाँ पे हमारे यहाँ सब monthly, everybody pays monthly.
That's a good thing. So how is the like average cost of living in Virginia, like where you're living right now?
Yeah. So if I calculate cost based on apartment is $400 to $500. Food, grocery order करना है, Kroger है यहाँ पे, Food Lion है, Walmart है, that will be, घर पे ज़्यादा खाते हो तो $200, right? So and then shopping के लिए कुछ ज़्यादा options नहीं है, shopping students करते भी नहीं है, so I'd say $700-800 में काम हो जाएगा तुम्हारा per month. And if you go out to eat, तब भी बाहर भी ज़्यादा expensive नहीं है, $10 में you can get a meal for sure.
And you cook at home or you just go outside? What is
I mostly cook at home. यहाँ पे Indian restaurants नहीं है, सिर्फ एक Indian restaurant है, and that is also like यहाँ पे Americans भी बहुत सारे Indian restaurants आते हैं, तो Indian restaurant का taste भी ना थोड़ा altered होता है US के needs के हिसाब से, वो customer को focus
करता है। तीखा मीठा है ना? Yes.
हाँ, वो तीखा बिल्कुल भी नहीं होता है यहाँ पे। So यहाँ पे एक इंडियन गार्डन है, वो भी थोड़ा अमेरिकनाइज्ड ही है, तो वहाँ पे हम कम ही जाते हैं। इंडियन फूड कुक करना है तो घर में, बाकी आउटसाइड देयर इज मैक्सिकन, इटालियन, अ लॉट ऑफ फूड ऑप्शंस अवेलेबल, तो वो मील्स भी ज़्यादा एक्सपेंसिव नहीं है, $10-20 में यू कैन ईट आउट, नो प्रॉब्लम्स। फर्स्ट सेमेस्टर में जब मैं आई थी, मैं लिटरली बाहर नहीं जाती थी पैसों की, ऐसा लगता था कि I don't want to spend money, like parents के आई हूँ, I shouldn't do that.
Indians are like this, yes.
We never used to go out. We used to cook at home. Parties होती थी तो हम house parties करते थे mostly, ताकि सब घर पे बना के ला सके अपने घर से. So that is what we used to do. But then if students are on assistantship and you have some source of income, you can definitely go out and it's not a big toll on your pocket.
Alright. So you have reached in Virginia Tech. You have got the accommodation. So how the stress in the course, like how your course curriculum is all about? So you can
got it. Yeah. So first semester you just take to like understand कि यहाँ पे चल क्या रहा है, कोर्स करिकुलम कैसा है. इंडिया से बहुत डिफरेंट है यहाँ की चीज़ें. जैसे इंडिया में टेस्ट एग्जाम होता था एक, ठीक है, और फिर बीच में, यहाँ पे ऐसा नहीं है. यहाँ पे क्लास क्विजेज होंगे एवरी 2 weeks. आई हैव क्विजेज इन द क्लास, ठीक है, और यू नीड टू बी like participating in the class events. इंडिया में बीटेक में क्या लेक्चर में चुपचाप बैठे रहते थे, 1 घंटा हो जाता था, चले जाते थे, ऐसा होता था. यहाँ पे इट्स लॉट ऑफ इंटरेक्शन विद द प्रोफेसर. क्वेश्चन पूछ सकते हो, यू कैन डायरेक्टली गो टू द प्रोफेसर टू हिज ऑफिस आवर्स एंड आस्क क्वेश्चंस अगर समझ में नहीं आ रहा है। तो फर्स्ट सेमेस्टर मेरा लिए ऐसा था कि मैं समझ ही रही थी कि यहाँ पे सिस्टम क्या है, कैसे चलता है ये सब, एंड क्लासेस में स्कोर करने के लिए क्या चाहिए वो भी मैटर करता है। इंडिया में क्या था, रट लेते थे, आ जाता था, बुक से पढ़ लिया, हो गया, ऐसा होता था। यहाँ पे दे मोस्टली कॉन्सेप्ट्स बेस्ड और प्रोजेक्ट बेस्ड होता है, तो कोई टेस्ट नहीं लेता जो सिलेबस
So there is no test, it is all about experiential learning, right?
या तो प्रोजेक्ट बेस्ड होगा, यू हैव टू प्रोड्यूस अ प्रोजेक्ट इन मोस्ट ऑफ द सब्जेक्ट्स, तो वो प्रोजेक्ट तुम्हारी सारी लर्निंग्स को अप्लाई करने के लिए है मोस्टली। तो फाइनल एग्जाम्स भी होते हैं बट दे कैरी लेस वेटेज, लाइक 20% ऑफ
in those projects you work alone or you can have some people?
Most of us are group projects, most of my subjects are group projects, पर क्योंकि यहाँ पे ग्रुप वर्क भी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, कैसे तुम ऑर्गेनाइज करते हो लोगों के साथ, दैट इज ऑल्सो आई से दैट इज मोर इम्पॉर्टेंट इन वर्क लाइफ रादर देन कॉलेज लाइफ, बट दैट प्रिपेयर्स यू। इंडिविजुअल प्रोजेक्ट्स भी होते हैं, जैसे कुछ सब्जेक्ट्स में देयर आर इंडिविजुअल प्रोजेक्ट्स दैट वी डू, बट ग्रुप इज लाइक अ गुड स्टार्ट इफ यू आर लाइक फेसिंग प्रॉब्लम्स। तो ग्रुप प्रोजेक्ट्स एंड कोर्स का लोड, आई से इफ यू हैव टेकन दो सब्जेक्ट्स बिफोर हैंड, कोई ऐसे कुछ अलग नहीं पढ़ाते हैं, सब्जेक्ट्स वही, बेस उनका वही होगा जो तुमने बीटेक में पढ़ा है, बट इफ यू हैव सम प्रायर नॉलेज अबाउट इट एंड इंटरेस्ट इन इट तो तुम्हारे लिए ईजी होगा। बट अगर नहीं है, जैसे इफ आई टेक समथिंग लाइक नेटवर्क आर्किटेक्चर और बेस्ड इन लाइक वेरी डिफरेंट फ्रॉम व्हाट वी हैड इन इंडिया, तो थोड़ा
I want to add this over here. You are from EC background and you are doing a com science course. So I just want to talk about something about that. How was the transition?
Yeah, so that is the thing that I was pointing in the previous thing. So बहुत लोगों ने data structures and algorithms पढ़ा होगा जो computer science background से undergrad करे हैं, मैंने नहीं पढ़ा है, and मैंने 12th class तक I had computer science, तो Java का knowledge है base, ठीक है, so that is my background from computers that I had. यहाँ पे when we transition, so Virginia Tech has this thing that they take students from different streams as well, जैसे there are students from civil engineering, from electronics engineering in my batch as well. So वो लोग क्या करते हैं, एक transition course रखते हैं, उसका नाम है DSA, Data Structures and Algorithms. Other than that हमें कुछ भी course compulsory नहीं है. You can choose your courses according to what you want to pursue. तो मेरा सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियरिंग है मेरा डोमेन, सो आई टेक कोर्सेज इन सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियरिंग, ऐसे ML, AI, नेटवर्क्स, बहुत सारे, सिक्योरिटी, ये सब स्ट्रीम्स हैं जो तुम चूज कर सकते हो। सो मेरे को सिर्फ एक DSA कोर्स कंपल्सरीली लेना था, एंड फॉर द फर्स्ट सेमेस्टर आई टुक कोर्सेज दैट वर लाइक, जैसे सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियरिंग लिया, प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेजेस लिया मैंने, सो दैट आई कैन लर्न एंड ट्रांजिशन कि कंप्यूटर्स में कैसी चीजें होती है, बिकॉज इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स से कंप्यूटर्स में इट्स अ ट्रांजिशन, बट बहुत बड़ा ट्रांजिशन नहीं है। फॉर समबडी कमिंग फ्रॉम सिविल इंजीनियरिंग, आइट से उसके लिए ज्यादा बड़ा ट्रांजिशन है ये, बिकॉज उसने कभी प्रोग्रामिंग की नहीं है अपनी लाइफ में। या सो DSA वाज वन ऑफ दोज कोर्सेज जो एकदम बेस से पढ़ाते हैं, एंड दे ट्राई टू अकोमोडेट एंड थिंग्स। इंटरव्यूज में भी DSA ही पूछते हैं, टू बी वेरी प्रिसाइज, एंड आई एम टेलिंग एवरीबडी दैट DSA इज वन थिंग दैट यू नीड टू डू फॉर श्योर। तो वो आप हर सेमेस्टर खुद अपने आप से कर ही रहे हो, एनीवेज लीड कोड तुम कर ही रहे हो, बट DSA एक स्ट्रक्चर बनाता है जस्ट टू बिगिन coding and programming in general. So I had this DSA course which helped me transition from EC to CS. I had really difficult time in learning those concepts, but I used to put in my time, और specifically मैं वो subject पढ़ने के लिए time निकालती थी, क्योंकि इंटरव्यूज में मुझे पता था वो पूछते हैं, एंड दैट इज द मेजर थिंग दैट वी नीड टू डू हियर। तो या आइड से ट्रांजिशन इतना मुश्किल नहीं था, बाकी हेल्पफुल सब प्रोफेसर्स होते हैं। सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियरिंग वाज वन सब्जेक्ट मेरे को नहीं आता था बिल्कुल भी। आई यूज्ड टू गो टू द प्रोफेसर ईच लाइक एवरी वीक एंड आस्क प्रॉब्लम्स, एंड पीपल आर वेरी ओपन। यहाँ पे प्रोफेसर के अलावा TA भी होते हैं जो आपकी हेल्प करते हैं। टीचिंग असिस्टेंट्स आर, वो स्टूडेंट्स ही होते हैं आपके साथ के, एंड दे कैन हेल्प यू, कैन आस्क क्वेश्चंस टू देम अगर आपको प्रोफेसर के पास नहीं जाना।
I was coming to that point, faculty. So you know about Indian faculties, right? And how they take the lectures. So I just want to know how big was your batch size, and how was the faculty? Just some good words about that.
Yeah. So faculty to student ratio depends on most classes. If I have a class like software engineering, which is too mainstream and most students pursue, it is like 1 professor to 60 students, but if it is a course that most students don't take, it is 1 to 30 mostly. जैसे programming languages में इतने बच्चे नहीं थे, तो it's 20 students were there in my class.
All right.
So 1 to 20. And talking about the faculty is mostly like they are mostly inclined towards research, so they don't have a lot of time in like solving your concepts, but then they're very knowledgeable about those. So if you want to class में वो नहीं पढ़ाएंगे वो सब, class में it's more like you just fill in, they just tell you these concepts और ये industry पे ये चल रहा है ऐसा बताते हैं, and they don't go deep into the concepts because they think कि तुम पढ़ लोगे. यहाँ पे स्पून फीडिंग नहीं होता जैसे इंडिया में मोस्टली होता है, बट यहाँ पे स्पून फीडिंग नहीं होता कि इस लाइन से इस लाइन तक पढ़ लेना पेपर में ही आएगा, ऐसा नहीं होता. Yeah.
I have one more question over here. Sorry, I'm being very inquisitive over here.
Good.
So, is there any need of, like, let's say in India we get notes from our seniors, assignments from our seniors. So, do all these things work over there also?
Actually no, not at all. Notes तो होते ही नहीं है, हम भी notes नहीं बनाते. I literally like 3 or 4 lines पूरी क्लास में. बाकी there are videos available जो देख सकते हो आप, बाकी प्रोफेसर की रिकॉर्डिंग वगैरह होती है. एंड असाइनमेंट यू कैन नॉट टेक फ्रॉम सीनियर्स. यहाँ पे बहुत बड़ा ऑनर कोड होता है, तो अगर आपका कोड मैच करता है किसी से या कोई भी असाइनमेंट मैच करता है तो ऑनर कोड वायलेशन आप पे लगता है, एंड देन यू गेट एन F इन दैट कोर्स. और इंटरनेशनल स्टूडेंट्स के लिए बहुत ज़्यादा प्रॉब्लमैटिक है क्योंकि उनके वीज़ा में इश्यूज आते हैं इससे. सो असाइनमेंट्स किसी से नहीं मांगने, किसी से कॉपी नहीं करने, सब खुद करना. यू कैन डिस्कस फॉर श्योर, तुम क्लास के बच्चों से डिस्कस करो, प्रोफेसर से डिस्कस करो. असाइनमेंट प्रोड्यूस करना कोई बड़ी बात नहीं है यहाँ पे, बट डोंट कॉपी. दैट इज वन थिंग दैट nobody should do.
That need to be quoted big and bold. So
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So coming back to your money part. So like are you doing any internship or something, part-time jobs and all, anything to earn some cash? Yes.
Yeah. So for the first semester my fees was around $16K. सब पेरेंट्स ने दिया था. एंड देन अदर देन दैट आई यूज्ड टू वर्क एट द स्टेडियम. जो मैंने बोला मैचेस होते थे, आई यूज्ड टू वर्क एट द स्टेडियम. तो यहाँ पे आर्ली कॉस्ट इज अराउंड $15 to $16 पर आवर. डाइनिंग जॉब्स भी अवेलेबल है जो इतना ही अराउंड पे करती है, बट दे आर मोर स्ट्रेनुअस. और बाकी लाइब्रेरी में जॉब्स अवेलेबल होती है. बहुत सारी ऑन कैंपस जॉब्स छोटी छोटी अवेलेबल हैं जो तुम कर सकते हो. जैसे ग्रेजुएट कॉलेज में भी थोड़ी जॉब्स होंगी, लाइक जस्ट टू पुट द बुक्स ऑन प्लेस, या फिर कोई लाइब्रेरी पे हेल्प डेस्क टाइप होगा. तो जस्ट टू गेट योर इनकम फॉर
स्मॉल टास्क. यस.
या एंड यू उससे हमको इतना हुआ कि आई कुड पे द रेंट माई सेल्फ. $400 के अराउंड आराम से यू कैन गेट. या
and how easily you can get it? Like what is this?
That's pretty easy. There's simply an application. सभी बच्चे करते हैं, तो आपके साथ के जो भी लोग होंगे वो अप्लाई कर रहे होंगे. You just have to be in the same pool and it's pretty easy to get into it. Dining वगैरह में they don't see any qualifications. तुम्हें बस जाना होता है वहाँ पे, और बाकी किसी में नहीं देखते. या अदर देन दैट आफ्टर द फर्स्ट सेमेस्टर मेरे को रिसर्च असिस्टेंटशिप मिला था. सो आई एम वर्किंग इन द डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ सेंट्रल जियोस्पेशियल इंफॉर्मेशन टेक्नोलॉजी. तो दे पे माई फी एंड ऑल्सो दे गिव मी $2,000 पर मंथ. तो second semester,
that's very cool to know. Awesome.
Yeah. So I don't pay any fees after the first semester. I never paid any fees. और ऊपर से $2,000 भी मिलते थे. तो उसके लिए उस चीज़ के लिए अप्लाई करने के लिए यू नीड टू बी वेरी पर्टिकुलर, और तुम्हें देखना है कि कौन से डिपार्टमेंट में ओपनिंग है. खुद से तुम्हें अप्लाई करना है, कोई तुम्हारी उसमें हेल्प नहीं करेगा एज सच. बट द थिंग इज कि ओपनिंग्स बहुत सारी होती है. यू रिसीव ईमेल्स कि यहाँ पे ओपनिंग है, और बहुत सारे डिपार्टमेंट्स में, डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ कंस्ट्रक्शन, डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ बायोलॉजी, इन सब में कंप्यूटर साइंस के बच्चों की बहुत ज़रूरत होती है क्योंकि एवरीबडी इज डेवलपिंग एन एप्लीकेशन.
I have one question over here. So what is the percentage of students in your batch who are into RA, like who are doing assessment?
Got it.
Yes.
So I'd say there's around 20 to 30% students in my batch who are definitely getting an RA from the very first semester.
Okay.
उसके आगे I'd say percentage increases to 50 to 60% क्योंकि फर्स्ट सेमेस्टर में इंडिया में होते हैं. इंडिया से यहाँ पे अप्लाई करने में प्रॉब्लम होती है. मेरे को भी फर्स्ट सेमेस्टर में कुछ नहीं असिस्टेंटशिप था, बट जब मैं यहाँ पे आई मेरे को रियलाइज हुआ कि बाकी बच्चों को कहीं से कुछ इनकम मिल रहा है सोर्स, तो व्हाई शुडंट इवन आई अप्लाई, इवन आई ट्राई दिस, राइट? तो एंड देन यू मीट प्रोफेसर्स. तो प्रोफेसर्स के पास भी ऐसी अपॉर्चुनिटीज होती हैं, जैसे कोई प्रोफेसर हायर कर रहा होगा किसी अपनी रिसर्च के लिए। तो दैट इज द थिंग कि तुम्हें यू नीड टू गेट इन कॉन्टैक्ट विद पीपल, जानना है कि बाकी लोग क्या कर रहे हैं। सिर्फ अपने अपने ककून में रह के नहीं तुम्हें कुछ मिलेगा, यू नीड टू एक्सप्लोर थिंग्स हियर कि बाकी लोग क्या कर रहे हैं, कैसे वो अर्न कर रहे हैं इतना सब कुछ। तो यू जस्ट नीड टू अप्लाई, यू नीड टू स्टैंड आउट जस्ट बाय अप्लाइंग।
I just want to know names of few faculties who
Yeah.
are good or on which you have crush. So you can just name few faculties, please.
Yeah. So there is the Mohammad Fargali professor. He's from Egypt,
Yes.
and he taught me the DSA course. और अभी capstone एक और course है, who is my professor in that as well. And there is Professor Tilevich, who was my programming language professor. He's really knowledgeable, and he's one of the great professors. He's really sweet. So if you feel really bad about something, you can definitely go to him and talk to him.
And how approachable they are? Like what is the process to meet them? So are they open?
Yeah, it's pretty open they're pretty open. They have, if you take that course, you have an office hour जो आपके syllabus में दिखेगा. तो Fridays को या कोई भी day पे this 1 or 2 hour का window होता है where you can go and knock at the door and just simply meet them.
All right, cool. So you are doing like an amazing job over there. So I just want to understand, like, what is the job prospect? Like, you must have inquired about that. You must be having some idea about this. So and you also know about the placement scenario in India, how we perceive the placements in college. So I just want to you talk about something about the placements and everything. I know it is like quite early for you, please, but we want to know what is your you know about this so far.
Yeah. So talking about being early into it, sorry, I'm not early. I already got a full-time offer at Amazon. So people need to be proactive.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Congrats.
People need to be really proactive in looking for jobs. आपकी internship यहाँ पे full time offers में convert होती है. तो if you got a nice internship, जैसे मेरे को Amazon में internship मिला, they converted me into a full time. After those 3 months you work for them, वो आपको full time offer देंगे based on the performance you had before. तो first goal for Indian students here to come for the very first semester is to apply for internships, and I cannot focus more on doing that क्योंकि आपका कोर्स यहाँ पे जीपीए मैटर नहीं करता है जितना इंडिया में मैटर करता है. तो जीपीए आपका नॉर्मल भी होगा बट यू आर वेरी गुड एट क्रैकिंग इंटरव्यूज. और इंटरव्यू क्रैक करने के लिए देयर इज वन थिंग कॉल्ड लीड कोड. कंप्यूटर साइंटिस्ट के लिए आई थिंक एवरीबडी वुड नो दैट प्लेटफॉर्म. तो वो आपको डेफिनेटली करना है, लीड कोड कंसिस्टेंटली करना है उसको भी. एंड मोस्टली एप्लीकेशंस जो होती हैं वो सब जो इंटरव्यू होते हैं वो सब लीड कोड बेस्ड ही होते हैं. यू अप्लाई टू गूगल, Amazon, फेसबुक, कुछ भी करो लीड कोड ही पूछते हैं वो तुमसे इन द एंड. तो कोर्स पे फोकस करना है just to have that minimum GPA to apply to university. That is I think 3.5 or 3.2 out of 4. And other than that आपको अपना लीड कोड करके अप्लाई खुद से करना है. Nobody will tell you to apply here. यहाँ पे प्रोफेसर्स नहीं बोलेंगे, कोई कॉलेज नहीं बोलेगा आपको कि अप्लाई करना है या फिर अब प्लेसमेंट का टाइम हो गया है, ऐसा कुछ नहीं होगा. यू जस्ट अप्लाई ऑन लिंक्डइन, यू बिल्ड अ नाइस लिंक्डइन प्रोफाइल, सब अपने अकम्पलिशमेंट्स वहाँ पे डालो एंड देन जस्ट अप्लाई थ्रू लिंक्डइन. और ओपनिंग्स खुद से आती हैं, वो सब अप्लाई करनी है आपको. कॉलेज का आईड से इट मैटर्स ऑन द रेज्यूमे. शॉर्टलिस्टिंग जो कॉलेज की होती है तो आपका कॉलेज का नाम मैटर करता है रेज्यूमे में. बट अदर देन दैट आई थिंक कॉलेज का ज्यादा रोल नहीं होता. एप्लीकेशंस आपको खुद ही करनी होती. देयर आर करियर फेयर्स फॉर श्योर जो आपको हेल्प करेंगी क्योंकि कंपनीज डायरेक्टली आती हैं, उनके रिक्रूटर्स आते हैं एंड देन यू कैन टॉक टू देम डायरेक्टली. बट दैट इज लाइक वन गेटवे. बट मोस्ट एफर्ट आपको अपने आप ही डालना पड़ेगा क्योंकि आपको आई लिटरली अप्लाइड टू अराउंड 200 companies. And I got interview calls from 2 or 3 companies only. So it is like a lot of they have.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
they are selective.
So I just want to know one more number from you. Like, what is the percentage? Let's say if I talk about the students who are getting placed via internship or not. So what is the ratio? Like, who are getting placed and who are getting like a job after 1 month or 1 year after the degree. So what is the ratio?
For my batch, everybody who got an internship is already placed. So I think just 1 or 2 students are like who didn't convert, but they are trying in different companies.
Alright.
और यहाँ पे you have just 3 months. You cannot wait for 1 year after your after your degree ends. You just have 3 months to find the job. So it's very crucial
Even
that
if it is
time,
STEM, so for the STEM students also, it's 3 months only
yeah,
after the
yeah,
program.
yeah.
Yes.
For STEM students also, it's just 3 months. Irrespective, वो जो आप OPT extension की बात कर रहे हो, that is when you have a job. तब OPT
All right.
extension होता है, जो कि
All
3
right.
years का होता है. Right? On the visa, you can work for 2 years without an H1B. So, coming on that, I was talking about having the internship.
Yes,
तो
yes.
आपको internship के लिए जैसे GRE के लिए 1 साल पहले अप्लाई करते हैं, करना शुरू कर देते हैं ना एप्लीकेशन, वैसे ही internship में if you're working in May, समर में सब लोग internship करते हैं यहाँ पे. So you have to start applying by October or November the previous year.
All right.
तो मैं फर्स्ट सेमेस्टर में पूरा लाइक फुल फ्लेजेडली मैं एप्लीकेशंस इंटर्नशिप के लिए फिल कर रही थी ताकि मेरे को मिल जाए. एंड बाय नवंबर एंड आई हैड द इंटर्नशिप. जब तक लोगों को मई तक भी इंटर्नशिप नहीं मिलती और मई में स्टार्ट करनी होती है इंटर्नशिप, तब जो टेंशन होती है वो बहुत बुरी होती है. बिकॉज 3 months तुम्हें यूएस में रहना है और तुम क्या करोगे किसी को नहीं पता, राइट? तुम कुछ अर्न भी नहीं करोगे
I think
इंटर्नशिप
we
के.
need to do a different video for the time management. You have like
Yes.
amazing data to actually show to the users. Yes, and we will actually take this as a bite. Yes.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to ask, like, the next question was on time management only. So you talked about when you landed over here, you started searching for the jobs and the RAs and then the placement and the internships and everything, and then there's the coursework. So how do you manage your time in all these things, between all these things?
Yeah. So I wake up at 7 and there is no like you don't get time for yourself at most of the days. Weekends are free. First semester mein I don't even remember having time for myself. I used to sleep very late because lead code मैं एक तो transition वाली बच्ची थी, तो मेरे को आता भी नहीं था काफी concepts जो बच्चों को क्लास में आते थे. तो I used to learn a lot and मैं ज्यादा टाइम यही learning में spend करती थी अपना. Other than that, once you have the internship and things like that, तो तुम्हारा life थोड़ा chill है. जैसे अभी I have some time for myself. I can paint, I can complete my hobbies, whatever I have, right?
Great.
But first semester, when you don't have those things, you need to focus and
You can
work.
talk to us so much because
Yeah.
you have some time.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Yeah. So for first semester, I'd say बच्चों का focus सिर्फ पढ़ाई और internship search होना चाहिए. सिर्फ इस पे फोकस करोगे then only you can see a future which is free and like you can complete your hobbies. Other than that, बहुत सारे assignments होते हैं, बहुत सारा यही पूरा समय इसी में निकल जाता है. You just have some like weekend पे एक दिन मिलेगा जो शायद अपने लिए हो, उसमें भी you need to do the household chores. यहाँ पे vacuum cleaning, कपड़े धोना सब खुद ही करना पड़ता है. तो weekend पे भी तुम यही सब टास्क करते रहोगे. You will see कुछ टाइम बाद कि तुम पे कुछ टाइम ही नहीं है अपने लिए. इंडिया में कितना फ्री टाइम होता था. बाकी टाइम जो होता है वो पेरेंट्स से बात करना, इंडिया के दोस्तों से वापस गेट टुगेदर करना टाइप चीजें में निकल जाता है, राइट? तो you don't get a lot of time but you have to enjoy that process overall. तो it depends on you कि तुम उसको कितना positively लेते हो. and everybody knows यहाँ पे टाइम नहीं है. कोई भी मास्टर्स करेगा तो उस पे कहाँ ही टाइम होगा, राइट?
Yes.
तो it is how you enjoy that process.
Cool. So I just want to like ask 2 questions. The best experience in Virginia Tech. Any incident you want to share, like which it like closest to your heart so far, please.
Okay. So बहुत सारे अच्छे experiences हैं, but the best experience at Virginia Tech was there was this दिवाली सेलिब्रेशन वी हैड लास्ट ईयर. तो घर से दूर होना दिवाली के लिए बहुत बुरा लगता है. दिवाली कितना बड़ा फेस्टिवल होता है इंडिया में. तो यहाँ पे इंडियन सोसाइटी ने दिवाली ऑर्गेनाइज किया था एंड वी गॉट ऑल ड्रेस्ड और हम वहाँ पे गए. देयर वाज दिस डिनर और उसके बाद फायरवर्क्स भी हुए थे. तो कॉलेज पूरा अपनी साइड से करता है टू like have that diversity. हम बहुत सारे फेस्टिवल्स बनाते हैं यहाँ पे. मतलब हम ईरान के फेस्टिवल्स भी बना रहे होंगे, हम अफ्रीका की मील्स भी खा रहे होंगे. तो ऐसे कॉफी आवर्स एवरी फ्राइडे होते हैं जहाँ के अलग अलग जैसे ईरान, अफ्रीका, ये सब का कंट्रीज का कुछ पर्टिकुलर चीज यहाँ पे मिलेगी. Yeah, so Diwali was one of the best things I celebrated here and it was one of the most memorable time I had because being away from home, you remember those things like really vividly.
Any experience like you will like try to forget or I would say toughest to handle?
Toughest time. Yeah, so my toughest time here was, as I told you, the first semester I had. Transition पहला और दूसरा not getting an internship. at that time, having that stress, वो stress management बहुत मुश्किल था मेरे लिए. Having being an exceptional student all throughout my life, I was feeling कि मैं यहाँ पे आ गई हूँ and I cannot perform well. तो क्या होगा? ऐसा होता है ना कि दूसरी बाहर कंट्री में आ गए हो तो अब क्या होगा तुम्हारे साथ, राइट? तो you that pressure to perform really well because you're far, your parents have paid so much for you. So that was the most stressful time. फर्स्ट सेमेस्टर बुरा होता है, बट वंस यू हैव दैट इंटर्नशिप आई से सब बच्चे बहुत रिलीव हो जाते हैं, बिकॉज दैट माइनस इज द फुल टाइम जॉब ऑफर ढूंढने का पूरा प्रेशर खत्म हो जाता है.
यस.
एंड देन यू हैव दैट मनी. इंटर्नशिप यहाँ पे बहुत पैसा देती है, तो तुम पूरा सेमेस्टर अपने आप निकाल सकते हो, तुम्हें पेरेंट्स से पैसे लेने की कोई जरूरत ही नहीं पड़ती है उसके बाद.
So in the last of our interview, any advice you want to give to any aspirational students, all the students who are looking for your for Virginia Tech?
Yeah, for the aspirant students, I'd say research well. तुम्हारे लिए बेस्ट यूनिवर्सिटी पहले अपने लिए अपने हिसाब से what can you afford, right? और किस टाइप के टेम्परेचर में तुम रह सकते हो. सॉरी, सो जैसे बॉस्टन में कई लोग नहीं रह पाएंगे, ठंडा है टेम्परेचर. लुक एट दीज फैक्टर्स फर्स्ट. हर चीज का प्रोज एंड कॉन्स होते हैं, हर यूनिवर्सिटीज के प्रोज एंड कॉन्स होते हैं, और हर एरिया यहाँ पे यूएस में बहुत डाइवर्स है, तो उसका प्रोज एंड कॉन्स एंड वेयर यू कैन एक्चुअली लिव, वो सब देख के अप्लाई करना है. फर्स्ट थिंग, फॉर वर्जीनिया टेक आइड से it's a great university. You do not need to have any second thoughts about the university, but one thing I'd say, internship आपको अपने आप से अप्लाई करना है. You need to take your future in your hands. कोई यूनिवर्सिटी नहीं करेगा. तुम ये सोचिए कि वर्जीनिया टेक आ गया हो अब लाइफ रिलीव्ड है, ऐसा नहीं है. You have to apply to internships and make your future on your own.
Cool. Anshika, I can definitely say this video is very informative for the users. Thanks for connecting with us. Thanks.
It's my pleasure. Yeah. Thank you.